Hello, YouTube and Twitch chat. Welcome back. We are doing a BT10 Jesmon deck profile. I'm super excited to be doing Jesmon as one of my earlier deck profiles for this channel, because you guys know what my criteria is for a deck profile. Has to have a very positive win rate against other decks in the format, and Jesmon, I'm happy to report, is doing really well against most of the decks in the format, including Cross and Blue Flare. Decks that are going to be really annoying to deal with. And D-Reaper too, which is good. So we're going to go over the deck profile today, explain the choices, and why I think this deck actually is a serious Tier 1 contender in the format. Unless things change, I actually see this deck doing really well. If you guys like this content, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and turn that notification bell on to smash potatoes. That way you know when all these amazing Digimon videos go live. For the eggs, we are doing only 4 Gurimon. If attacking, if you have 6,000 DP or more, you draw a card. It's there because it's a draw egg, and it can help us with, drawing cards, which Jesmon needs some draw power. Doesn't have a lot of draw power. You might think it does as we go through the deck, but it's good to have inheritable egg draw power. The deck doesn't need a DP boost. The deck already hits some pretty high numbers, so draw power is just fine. And you only need 4 eggs, because this deck will win or lose by the time it gets to its 4th egg. Usually like 2 eggs, 3 eggs max, usually. So that's it for the eggs, and I like it a whole lot. On to the rookies. We're playing 4 copies of the OG Huckmon on Play Real Top 5. Add 2 cards with Huckmon, Jesmon, or Sistermon their names. Bottom out the rest. It's one of the best on-play searchers in the game, and it gets you 2 cards pretty much every time. Then we're playing 4 copies of this Huckmon, the one that came out in BT7. When you swing once per turn, inheritable, reveal top 5 cards, add all Sistermons to your hand. This deck plays a lot of Sistermons in BT10, so having this Huckmon usually resolves 1 or 2 every time. And then our final red rookie in the deck, 2 copies of the new Huckmon that's coming out. Now, this Huckmon is a really good card. It's a once per turn effect. When you play a Sistermon, you gain a memory. So let your Sistermons sometimes be cheap, which is cool. Also has an inheritable that gets you plus 1,000 DP. So it gives you a little bit of an extra boost if you need it. Again, I want to give a quick point to Jesmon here because some people might not remember. Yes, it only plays 10 rookies. It's very thin lineup in that sense, but that's okay. Ideally, you evolve these Huckmons and you play this Huckmon. You almost never want to evolve this Huckmon. Okay, you want the consistency off of it, and you want these ones to be the ones you evolve because inheritables. And you, even without mulligans, you have hands sometimes with no Huckmons in them, but you have Sistermons and things that can help you facilitate. So it's okay. For white level 3s, we play 3 copies of the OG Blanc. It has blocker, while you have a Huckmon or Jesmon or Royal Knight, which is really good. And then on play draw, which is great. We play 1 copy of the new Sistermon Blanc. It's a on-play Destiny draw. You discard a card to draw 2, which is really good. It also gives you basically decoy red-black, which is okay. It's not the most useful thing in the world, but it comes up occasionally. It's not the best Sistermon. We play 1 of it because it does get you deeper into your deck. That's mainly the reason. And who doesn't like going deeper with the Sistermons? Am I right? Besides that, we do play 1 copy of Sistermon Blanc Awakened. This card is really good. So it has an on-play, you play a Sistermon from your trash underneath it to recover 1. That's already really good. And then on deletion, you add a Jesmon, Huckmon, or Sistermon from trash to hand. That sounds really fine. It can't add itself. It can't add a block Awakened to your hand, but it can add everything else in your deck, basically. So that's very, very strong. That's it for our rookies. A lot of rookies, 15 rookies, but only 10 you can evolve technically on your egg, and only 6 that you want to evolve on your egg. So keep that in mind as we go forward. For champions, it's a thin lineup. We play 8 red champions. 4 of the new Bao Huckmon, all turns 1,000 DP. Gives you power. And 4 of the old Bao Huckmon. When attacking, if you have a Sistermon, pop something 5,000 or less. Very good cards. There's nothing else we want to play because they're Huckmon cards, and that's incredibly important. For our level 4 Sistermons, We're playing 2 of the OG CL, gain in memory, plus 2000 DP. This card actually matters. I noticed that some decks don't play this card, and for the life of me, I don't get why. That being said, you can probably get away with 1, but I want to play 2 because I want to see at least 1 copy of it. And that's all it is. The gain of memory is cool, and yeah, memory gain is important. We're playing 2 copies of the new CL. This card is really interesting. I'm going to read it verbatim because if I just explain it, you might not understand what's going on with it. The first effect is on play. If it is your turn, you may Digivolve one of your Digimon into a Digimon with Royal Knight in its traits from your hand by paying its Digivolution cost. I'll come back to that in a second. Then your turn once per turn, if a Digimon Digivolves into a Digimon with Huckmon in its name or Royal Knight in its traits, you gain a memory. The combo with this card is pretty straightforward here. You play this Sistermon CL to evolve your Savior Huck into a Jesmon. And Jesmon in this deck has Blitz. So it lets you trigger your on-attacking abilities just by playing this CL from your hand or something. So very important distinction. There is some crazy combos, though. I'll get back to this when we get back to it. And then we play one more Sistermon. It's technically Sistermon Noir, but in our English, it's going to be Sistermon CL, probably. It has on play, you reveal top 3 cards of your deck, and then you add a Huckmon or Royal Knight, which is cool, and you trash the rest of the cards. Trashing is important because sometimes you want stuff in the graveyard. That's okay. And then the Alterns effect here. All your Digimon with Huckmon or Royal Knight gain Reboot. Reboot's cool. It means they can't attack over your Jesmon. It matters. So that's important. That's it for the level 4s. That's all we need. Nothing else is needed. We will come back to this, though, because there is some wombo and there is some combo with it. Very important. Moving right along to the ultimates. We play the new Savior Huck as a 4 of, because unfortunately, we can't play the old one as a 4 of. It's really sad. We can only play the 1. But anyway, 4 of this. It has a Wind Digivolving effect that lets you attack your opponent's unsuspended effect Digimon to the end of the turn, which is neat because it gives you access to Judgment of the Blade without having Judgment of the Blade, which is cool. And then when attacking once per turn inheritable, if it's a Royal Knight, which it will be, you may play a Digimon Sistermon in your hand or trash without paying the memory cost. See what it means when you have something like this that lets you trash your Sistermons? Not a big deal, because this could just bring it back when you're attacking. It's super cool. Then we're doing 1 copy of the OG Savior Huck. When Digivolving, play a Sistermon from your hand, and once per turn on suspend. Attacking. Broken card. Absolutely broken card. And then to top it up, we are playing 2 copies of Chimeramon. Chimeramon is super important, because you have these level 4 Sistermons that can turn into Chimeramon. You just can. And then all of a sudden, you attach one of your red inheritables, and then all of like a Savior Huck, probably, and then you can go into Jesmon, which is crazy. That's why this card exists in the deck. It's a super, super, super important card. Minimum 2. Minimum 2. But you probably will play more of it, if you want to. I only have room for 2, but 2 is fine. But play at least 2. All right, we're moving on to the Megas. We are playing 4 copies of the new Jesmon, the one from the starter deck. I'm going to read this card verbatim. When Digivolving, Blitz. Can I get some blitzes in the chat, please? We all like Blitz, don't we, chat? I think we all love Blitz, and we definitely all know what Blitz does, right? On top of that, when attacking, you may play a Digimon with Sistermon from your hand without paying memory cost. Okay. And once per turn, when you play another Digimon by an effect, 3000 DP, security +1. Pretty scary. Pretty scary. So in case you haven't figured out like the combo real quick, the really, 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 really cool combo is, let's say you evolve into Savior Huck. You can play this CL and then evolve into this Jesmon, because this plays this for free. And maybe it's still your turn if you have a memory tamer or something. Or you know what I mean? Maybe it's still your turn. Maybe you have the memory to do that, because it gains your memory anyway. So that's all kind of important to know. It matters. It does matter. But even if you have the other Savior Huck, if it's this one, whatever, then just bring this up from the back, play this, evolve, swing, blitz. Very good, very good, very good. This Jesmon is a very good card. What do I do with the rest of my cards? Oh, they're right here. Ah, alright. Moving right along, we're playing 3 copies of Jesmon X-Antibody. It costs 3 by itself, which is cool. We need to read this card, though. It's a very important card for this deck. You can evolve on Jesmon for 0, first of all. Second of all, piercing. Third of all, when digivolving, you may play a Digimon card with Sistermon in its name from your hand or trash without paying its cost. Then, if Jesmon exists, if Jesmon is in this Digimon's Digivolution cards, or your Digimon Sistermon in play, all your Digimon get plus 2000 DP and can attack your opponent's unsuspended Digimon. Another Judgment of the Blade type effect. Very good card. See, one of the big issues with Jesmon back in the day was you had to play Judgment of the Blade, but it was a brick. This gives you in-archetype Judgment of the Blades, which is super cool. And then to round it out, we play 1 copy of the big boss monster, Jesmon GX, Generation X. Anyway, let's actually read this card. So it evolves for 5. From a level 6 Royal Knight and its traits as well. So it doesn't really matter per se, but level 5. 5 cost evolve. When it's evolving, you can place 1 Digimon with Royal Knight and its traits and a play cost of 13 or less from your hand, or trash under this as a bottom source. Activate one of the placed Digimons with Digivolving effects, and then Blitz! So much Blitz in this deck. I fucking love it. And then all turns, when this Digimon has a card with Royal Knight in its traits, its Digivolution cards, it gains Piercing, Blocker, and Secure Attack +1. This card's fucking insane. Now, you really only need 1 of it, 2 at the most, but it's not like Imperial Digimon Paladin mode or something, where it's an option in your deck. You do want the 1 of this, because it is so powerful that it's very... Like, it's a brick, but it's so powerful when you get it off, you probably win the game. But to that stance, you also don't need it to win the game. The other Jesmons are powerful enough to do it on their own. This is just gravy train. Sometimes you do need it, but sometimes it does win more. So 1 copy is fine. That's it for our Digimon. Only a few cards left in the deck, really. We're playing 4 copies of Teacher-Student Journey. This is a new card that basically replaces our memory boost for us. This card says, main, reveal top 3 from your deck, add a Huckmon or Sistermon, and 1 card Royal Knight in the traits to your hand, trash the rest. And then you can delay it to reduce the Digivolution cost, next Digivolution cost by 1. So it's like a 1 less memory boost technically, but it's fine, not a big deal. It gets around memory blockers, which is fun. And then the inheritable effect and security, reveal top 3 cards, add a Huckmon, a Sistermon, and Royal Knight, and place in the battle area. So it's better in that sense than a memory boost, because if you just hit a memory boost in security, it just places itself on the field, does nothing else. But if you hit this in security, you actually get the effect, which is kind of cool. So we play the 4 copies of it. We play 1 copy of X-Antibody, because it does come up. It does let your Jesmon, or whatever, evolve into Jesmon X-Antibody, and do a cool plays that way. We still play 1 copy of Judgment of the Blade. I like the 1 copy. If it's in security, it's hilarious, first of all. But sometimes you don't always have the cards to attack unsuspended. So this just gives you an extra way to do it. I don't feel bad playing 1 copy of this card. I think it's perfectly okay. The last card in the deck is 1 Tai Kamiya, because it's a memory tamer and you will hit for security +1 guaranteed. That's it for the deck profile. This deck is really good. I'm super happy to report that right now it's doing really well in testing. And let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Bye.